This week we're going to highlight trade estimates for Friday's USDA monthly supply demand report. We're also going to take a look at updated trends in planting progress for beans across the U.S. and take a look at short-term weather trends as well as trends in export sales. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We moved into the month of June here, and this market remains historically volatile. Let's start out this week highlighting, though, the trade estimates for Friday's monthly supply-demand report. Let's take a look at those numbers. Again, this is the monthly supply-demand report from the USDA. Really not much change in that crop production estimate expected by the trade for soybeans. Very little change in terms of the production or the yield from the May estimate. Now, the carryout estimate is forecast to decline, though. Look at that old crop carryout, down to 219 compared to 235 in May, and new crop is projected to decline from 310 in May to 294 here in June. Trade will also be looking at those updated estimates of crop size from Brazil and Argentina in terms of their soybean production. Let's move on now and focus on planting progress for beans. Let's take a look at our trends. Our nationwide map here is looking at a nice increase last week, another 12%. We're up to 78%. That's just fractionally below the average of 79%. Now, here's the thing we do want to continue to highlight, however. Look at that area up in North Dakota and Minnesota. Those two states, particularly North Dakota, remain well below average. So North Dakota is a substantial amount of beans yet to plant here as we move into the first part of June. So weather will still be important, particularly for that region. Now let's look at the history of soybean planting progress here. Over the next 2 weeks, approximately 14% of the beans will be planted. So if we achieve that average, we'll be right at that 90%, 92% as we move into the middle of June. So again, weather will be very important. Speaking of the weather, let's take a look at the short-term forecast. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. And we're starting out here looking at past precip for the 14 days. What we're trying to do is get a gauge or a proxy, if you will, for topsoil moisture. You can see that area up in the northern plains is drying out a bit. There still has some moisture, though, in that eastern part of North Dakota and eastern parts of South Dakota. As you move further south and east, it actually dries out a bit as you get into the eastern Corn Belt. Now let's take a look at a change in temperature. We're looking at next week, June 16th to the 21st. It's going to warm up quite a bit. Now, we've entered the first part of June here with cool temperatures, but it is going to warm up there quite a bit. How about the moisture? Looking at June 11th this week, it looks like it's going to be much drier in the south starting this weekend in that area. As we move further north, not quite as dry. Let's summarize that by looking at our final weather slide here, looking at that area here in light yellow. Over the next 14 days, expected to see average amounts of precip. Let's now take a look at short-term export trends in soybean. We've looked at this slide before, but it bears repeating. Their unshipped book of old crop soybean export sales, the crop year in 21-22, are the second highest in recent memory. So we continue to have a good book of beans. Now, here's the message. We think we're going to see some of it revealed on Friday. With 2.19 billion bushels already sold for this crop year, and the USDA forecasting only 2.14, our forecast is 2.200 here at ATI. We wouldn't be surprised to see the USDA bump that number up Friday, but maybe not quite that aggressively. Maybe 25 to 30 million bushels on Friday. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November soybean futures. Now, November beans here in early June are trading near $15.50 a bushel. And it bears repeating, that's the highest price ever for early June. So as always, we strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage not only your old crop bushels, but also your 22 bushels, and it's not too early perhaps to look all the way out into 2023. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.